everybody, and welcome back. Lars here, and I am back with Miss Fifi, and we're going to start things off right with a Dewgong versus a Galvantula. Not a good lead, but what we're going to do here is we're going to give it a little bit of taste of its own medicine, and that we're going to shield the first one. We're going to break its attack, so that way when the second one does hit us, it will keep us alive still. They opt not to shield, which is totally fine by us. Go ahead and do your thing, baby. Go ahead and let this one hit us. We do survive. They swap out to Frostlass, but no worries. Throw this Icy Wind here and at least break their attack, and then say goodbye to Dewgong, who served us well, and bring in Lanturn. Now Lanturn, since Frostlass's attack has been broken, can now tank a total of 2 Shadow Balls. And of course, that comes with a little asterisk as long as they don't use Triple Axle, right? So just on its own, now the second Shadow Ball will not kill us. We will survive it, albeit with just a little bit of energy, or a little bit of health left. So there we go. Here comes an Avalanche. And now all we need to do with a Bomb of Snow is switch on out to Medi. And from this point on, everything is looking golden. Let this one hit us. There's a Weather Ball. And now throw this Power Up Punch. And all we do here is just keep on building up that bad boy. Keep on throwing those Power Up Punches and doing our thing. Now they're charging on up. So right now it's probably going to be Energy Ball. So throw up that shield, like so, and then say goodbye. And at this point they quit. It's over. Victory dance on to the next one. So should you find yourself against a Galvantula or even a Charjabug, make sure if you do leave in Dewgong, which is actually what I would suggest, make sure to shield the first one and break their attack. Go ahead, let the second one hit, but it's really important and to always make sure, and a lot of people that used Steelix last season, they know the drill, right? So here we go. They switch, and cannot stress this enough. There are so many Dragonairs out there. There's some Dragonites too, but mostly Dragonairs out there. And it's because with the absence in Retro Cup of any fairy types, they can really, move about unhindered. There's going to be ice, but they don't have to worry about fairies for the most part. You can bring in Delcatty, which knows Charm, and what's the other one? The one that had the thing, as my wife says, So yeah, a couple Charmers, but for the most part, the only thing Dragon needs to worry about is ice. So there we go. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna throw this Surf, and even though Dragonair resists water because it's Shadow and because it's a little bit squishy, it still does a good chunk of damage. So here we go. We're gonna wait the clock just a little bit. We bring in, and then we quick switch. It now becomes Medicham versus Poliwrath, and Poliwrath got a pretty good kit now. There's an Icy Wind, and all we're going to do here is return our attack back to where it's supposed to be after that Icy Wind hits us. They're going to get it off before we do, but that's totally fine. Shield this one just to be careful. It's always better to be safe than sorry. And throw the Power Up Punch now. There it is. They shield, and we're looking really good here, folks. Decided not to use a charge move just because a moot point. It's over. On to the next battle. Now the next battles are actually my last 2 sets, a 4-1 and 5-0, and so it's not just going to be spliced together. It's going to be the actual set, and we're going to start things off bad with a Medicham. We're going to bring in Lanturn. They quick switch to Arcticbacks. Now that is one rare Pokemon. My wife and I, we each have a total of 1, because the spawns are just so rare. But if you can find one, or even better, if you can find one with decent IVs, then I would strongly suggest building that bad boy, because it is a decent pick. It's a good Pokemon, and hopefully soon it'll see I'm sure down the road it'll see a community day, but hopefully maybe for the Holiday Cup we'll see a few more spawn compared to the current spawns lately. Go ahead, toss an Icy Wind at their opponent's Medi just to break their attack, and give ourselves the edge. There we go. Do our thing. Throw the Psychic here. And it's always nice in a mirror match to do whatever you can to tip the scale in your favor. And for now, throwing those Icy Winds, man. And lately, the last season or 2, or even longer, a lot of the buffing, debuffing moves have become so popular. My wife swears by them. I love them. There's a cough egregious. So we did that because at that point, they're going to shield, or hopefully shield, and now we're going to throw this Psychic to make sure they do. And so now they're down to 0 shields. We're at 2, and there's a Dark Pulse. Yeah, chances are there was about a 99% chance they were going to throw a Dark Pulse or a Psych, you know, anything that costs less energy because they knew we were going to shield. And my cat's right here. She's doing her thing. And now what do? Well, we know they're going to switch. We know they're counting. They know we're counting. And so we're going to go ahead and with our last breath, we're going to throw this Icy Wind, say goodbye to Cough Egregious, and take the win. The cat's like cleaning herself right now, and she's digging her claws into me. What are you doing, Fifi? What are you doing? All right, it's on to the next battle. That was a close one. But as a reminder, always be aware and always put yourself in your opponent's, or always put yourself in your opponent's shoes and think, what would I do in this scenario, right? You know when to switch, you know when they're going to switch, and if you're not sure if your opponent's counting or not, you can use the entire battle as kind of a good, you know, precedent to see if they are, because it's a pretty good giveaway what they're up to. There's a Body Slam. Go ahead, finish off this Vigoroth. As always, when it's Metachamp v Vigoroth, they will get a total of 2. Got them 2. Body Slams off. You'll get 1 Power-Up Punch. You will not get the second Power-Up Punch off before you kill them, and you wouldn't want to anyways. You would want to save it. So there we go. There's a Seed Bomb, and what are we going to do here? Well, we're going to switch to Lanturn. Everything is looking so good. This Toxapex is in trouble. Go ahead. No need to bait or anything like that. Just throw that Thunderbolt and take whatever Toxapex is going to throw at us. There's a Sludge Wave. At this point, you don't want to throw any charge moves. Be aware of that clock, right? The clock is your enemy, because if we kill this Toxapex, then that's all the more energy that Trevenant can come out and farm off of us. So even if that Toxapex would have killed us, it would have been totally fine. So always be aware and think ahead, because you know I know I've had a scenario like that where I ended up losing because of it, and I'm sure you guys have had similar scenarios, and you never forget those, right? You never forget those, and so it's always important to be aware and keep an eye on that clock. It's not easy, but keep an eye on it, right? Right, Fifi? Right, okay, so we have a Whiscash, and Whiscash is a popular pick, another popular pick this season because of a nice little buff. And, you know, we used to see Whiscash a long time ago, many seasons back, but now it's making a comeback, and we'll see what happens. So there we go, Icy Wind to break its attack, and what are we going to see here? I bet it's another Mud Bomb, which it is. There we go, and we're going to return it with an Icy Wind. Just keep on breaking that attack, and at this point, life is looking good. Let them do their thing. Let them throw that Mud Bomb, and then, you know what? Say goodbye. Here we go. At this point, there's a Talonflame. Go ahead, throw up that Icy Wind. There it is, and there we go. Unfortunately, that probably meant that they got an extra fast move off because their attack was broken, but it's all right. We got Lanturn, and here comes a Medi. Now, this battle, of all the battles, is the one I lost, and I'll tell you what I did wrong here. So, totally fine up until this point. We bait, we try to make them think that it's an Ice Punch, and so we do that. Now, I throw the Psychic here. In reality, I should have gone for another bait. I should have charged up Psychic and gone for the bait. That way, I would have been able to get another Psychic off. Honestly, I thought that they weren't in shield. It was more of a 50-50. So, you know, it is what it is. But at the very end, going 4-1 isn't a bad deal. And hopefully, at the very least, it can be a learning experience for you guys of what not to do, right? So here we go. We go into a better scenario. Here comes a Mantine. And now Mantine is actually the, I think, number 1 or 2 pick, according to PvPoke. And I haven't seen too many of them. But with Mantine, keep in mind, all you need to do is throw that Icy Wind. It's going to bombard you with Aerial Ace, but it's fine. It's both neutral. Although with our Icy Wind, it's going to break their attack. So there we go. Energy Ball coming from Abomasnow, no problem. Answer back with a Power-Up Punch. There it is. And they are not going to get that Weather Ball off or Icy Wind off. I've been actually told that Weather Ball is preferred on Abomasnow. Even though it got Icy Wind, people have been saying that they prefer Weather Ball. But you know what? I haven't used one since. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what the truth is. Because, yeah, haven't used it, but that's what people are saying. So there we go. We're going to go ahead. We're going to toss up a good old-fashioned Drill Run against this Lanturn, and then we're going to keep on charging. We're going to keep on letting them do their thing. And we have 2 shields to their 0, which means we're going to shield here for sure. And then we're going to go ahead, we're going to throw another drill run. Even though we don't get stabbed, it still does a good chunk of damage. And then we're going to bring in our Lantern, which almost has full health. And right now, don't shield. Don't even worry about shielding, because there's a Thunderbolt. We could technically kill this Lantern just with the Surf. But you know what? We knew they were going to shield, or rather, that we knew they were going to swap out. So it's just better just to farm it down and go from there. And there's the dance, and it's on to the next one. Well, first, claim this Lickitung, claim your reward when you get it, of course. And here we go, on to the last set of the night. And this one was a 5-0, which is good. Always nice. Love seeing those 5-0s. So here we go. We have another Dragonair. So Shadow Dragonair, they quick switch to Lickitung. So if you see this, it usually happens more often than not in Open League, but I still want you guys to be aware of it. If you ever have a lead in which it's like a mirror match, or even a lead that's neutral, but your opponent actually has a little bit better chance of winning, and they quick switch just like that to Lickitung, be cautious, because a lot of times people will do that to lure out your fighter, in 99% of the case, lure out your Metacham, and then they'll have, like a Vigoroth or a Steel type, like a Basti in the back. So please be aware of that. Sometimes it's best, even though it's tempting to throw in Medi, it's best just to go with your current Pokemon or with your other Pokemon. In our case, like Lantern's a bad example, but just be aware of it, folks. Be aware and know that when people are so apt, especially during a mirror match, to switch right out the gate to a Lickitung, it usually means that they have something else that's weak to fighting in the back. So here we go. Dragonair. We're going to go ahead, we're going to shield, and then we're just going to farm this thing down for energy. And so that way, all we need to do here is throw this drill run. There it is. And now everything's looking so good. It's over. We win. Victory dance, and it's on to the next battle, right, Fifi? That's right. All right, here we go. On to the next one, and I hope everybody's having a great, awesome, amazing day. Hope all your battles are going good. And if you have any questions or any problems, always feel free to comment. And what do we have? We have another Shadow Dragonair. No worries. Dewgong's doing its thing. Now, this person's actually keeping their Dragonair in, which isn't necessarily a bad decision. Go ahead, throw up that shield, and then throw an Icy Wind after, an extra fast move or so. They do shield, which is fine. At this point, what we're going to do is we're going to let this Body Slam hit us, because it's not going to kill us. And we are going to kill that Dragonair. We have the lead. And we're going to throw up this Icy Wind here just to break its attack. They shield, and if you ever see, we've seen 2 dragons. Now, it's not like this rare thing. I've seen actually quite a few teams that are all dragon like this, right? A lot of Dragonair, Altaria, and then, I don't know, Haxorus, that sort of thing. So be aware, there are triple dragon teams in the Retro Cup, and I say this because in a couple, 2 days, or day and a half, Great League is going away, Ultra is coming in, but Retro Cup is staying the same. So if you don't have those Pokemon built for Ultra League, go ahead and chill with me in the Retro Cup, because I promise you, you do this, you have Dewgong out there, you have Medi, you have Lantern, you're going to be looking really, really good. So there we go. There's a Dragon Claw, but let it hit. It's no worry. Here comes a Psychic. And there it is. Say goodbye, and there we go. There's a victory. And yeah, my cat Fifi's claws are just digging into my skin. Digging in. Really do need to trim her claws. Alright, so here we go. Serperior. What do we do with Serperior? Well, we're both weak to each other. And so just like that first video I showed you with Galvantula, we're going to go ahead and shield that. Extra fast move just in case they decide to swap. And then here comes an Icy Wind. They're going to shield. And now we can safely tank a Frenzy Plant without worrying about death or getting knocked out. We hang on between a hair's breadth, and then we throw one more Icy Wind. They opt to shield, so they use both of their shields in order to keep or to gain the lead. Medi's coming out. Don't worry about this. Its Aerial Ace is barely going to do any damage just because its attack's been broken so long. They quick switch out, and what do we have here? Well, we're going to throw a Psychic here, and yeah, Clodsire. Just like before, all we need to do with a little Clodsire is let this one hit us. Clodsire is one of my wife's favorite Pokemon. She just can't get over its face. And its sad backstory, it lost a turf war in order to have control of the pond or lake or whatever, and so it was forced out under the shores. But yeah, poor little guys. So there we go. Now this, on the surface kind of looks not so good, Whiscash versus Lanturn, but our opponent has a really, really tough road ahead of them because we're going to throw a Surf there, and now they have to get a total of 3 mud bombs off to kill us. One to kill my Lanturn, and then the next one's going to be shielded, and then they'll get another one off. Now, the best thing they could have done is maybe undercharged against Lanturn, but in reality, it was really, really a tough call for them, and it's not an easy situation, although on the surface, it looks, like they might have the advantage. They didn't. Alright, it's on to the second to last battle, and here we go. I want to thank y'all for watching and hope you learned something, and as always, if you have any questions, let me know. So what do we have here? We have, good old fat, here we go. Go ahead, throw this. Now, they're going to throw a Shadow Ball here, right? And I, honest to God, thought they were going to try to bait me or try to use a, a Sand Tomb and then maybe throw a Shadow Ball. And I was not expecting that Shadow Ball. And it is what it is. Go ahead and throw this Icy Wind here. There we go. And say goodbye, but no worries. We have Lanturn ready to come out, and there it goes. They quick swap to Dragonair. Now, our #1 priority is using this power-up punch in order to defeat this Dragonair. There we go. Of course, we're going to shield as well. There's a Body Slam, just like before. Same thing. Charge up power-up punch and throw it. There it is. They opt not to shield. At this point, the battle is over. We have won. We're about to win. We'll let them do their thing. There's a Flame Charge. We don't need to shield this one either. There we go. Another Flame Charge. And then that is that. And it's on to the very last battle. Let's check it on out and see what's cooking here. All right. What do we got going on here? We have a Greedent. So, really rare lead. I would say most people do, if they are going to use Greedent, use it as sort of a safe swap. Just like before with Lickitung, they might have, like a Bastion on the back, or they use it kind of to bait out maybe a fighter or something like that. But a pretty rare lead. Regardless, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to spam it with Icy Wind, just like all the other Pokemon. So there we go. Another Icy Wind, and at this point, everything's looking really good. Go ahead and do our thing here. Let this Body Slam hit us, and then they're going to go ahead. They're going to throw one more Body Slam, and there we go. And now we're going to go ahead and throw this Icy Wind. Now, just like earlier, Icy Wind, even though it's not very effective against Frostlass, Frostlass is locked in there. They quick swap to him, so that means we can take advantage of that. We can throw this Surf, and we can know that its attack has been broken. So it's got to do a little bit more damage in order to take care of our Lanturn Ice Shield here. However, they do know Triple Axle, so that negates any effects of our debuff, and so we do have to be cautious. We throw it up. Because of the way they were acting, I honestly bet that they had some sort of flyer in the back, and so that's why I was being really aggressive to protect my Lanturn. Although I was wrong. They end up having a, well, let's see what we have here. There is a Thunderbolt. Yeah, an Oranguru or Oranguru. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But regardless, Thunderbolt, and then here comes a Surf. And then we throw in Medi. That's that. Thanks again for watching, everybody. And yeah, have a great night, a great day. And if you have any questions, any comments, let me know. I'm here for you. Peace.